3, 2. All right, we're on. Okay, so welcome back to the Shop Class Podcast. This is Mr. G, and we've got Matt Bloomquist here. And coming into the room just right at the beginning there is Tim. I just accepted him to join in. There he is. Always with a fake background behind him. No, that's actually his living room. And then we got Dukes in the house, although he just left for a second. And tonight's guest is Todd Clippinger. Did I say it correctly?
Yes, you did.
All right. And Todd's coming to us from Salem, Oregon.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool because I'm interested because I want to visit that area this summer, at least for a couple of days to check out that area. And then also, I've never been to Portland, and I want to go to Eugene to see Arcimoto.
Yeah, you know? Eugene's not far from Portland and Salem either.
Awesome. And I got family out there, which I never went to visit. So, you know, the good side of the family. So we got to stay in touch with them. All right. So, but we have some exciting news that we have to take care of right away. And that is that our very own Matt Bloomquist has entered in to the Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, and he is now a finalist. Oh, that was cool. Todd, did you do that?
My distance teaching bell.
That is awesome. That's funny. I have bells and I have a loudspeaker, so I have all this stuff, but it's all at the school. All right, so Matt, when did you enter this? How long ago did you do this?
Oh man, I think everything's due in April, May.
No, I think it was May.
Man.
It was May.
I say it was springtime.
Yeah, it was May.
Before school, whatever. May. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it opens up for about a month, maybe 2 months or something. Then you fill out this big application. For anybody that's done it knows exactly what we're talking about. And I don't know if we have it posted, the video where is his name Ty that came on from Harbor Freight and kind of talked about things. Barbercheck obviously has talked about it because he's a winner of this prize. I think he got the second place prize. But yeah, so I honestly, not that I don't think I could win it. Obviously, that's why I apply, but I wasn't expecting it. I phone dinged. I saw I had an email, and then on the little notification bar it said congratulations. I was like, huh. And I clicked and I saw it was from Harbor Freight, and I was like, no way. So opened it up, and yeah, sure enough, finalist for the Harbor Freight. So I'll go into one more round of application here, and I think it's due August 4th. And so you have to do a couple more learning modules, just like you do when you do the first part of the application, and respond to questions and all that good stuff. And I haven't gone over those yet. I'm going to wait till after my vacation weekend here to dig into it. But yeah, I'm pumped. I text Barbercheck right away, and it's like, dude, you're never going to believe this. So yeah, especially, I mean, this is the second time I've applied. And I mean, yeah, who knows? And even if I don't get it, it definitely gives me more confidence for applying for next year. You start feeling like you may have a grasp, but at the same time, I think some of it comes down to also just the luck of which judge reads your application and how they feel that day. And so,
but you deserve it, man. You have go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, honestly, I just took last year's application, fine-tuned it, and I was able to add in some more qualitative or quantitative stats from the program. And then there were some new questions you had to answer about some of the COVID stuff and emotional well-being and stuff that you had to answer. But yeah, I don't know what the magic formula is to get to this far, but I hope I got the magic formula to get to the next part.
Yeah, well, you deserve it because, I mean, you're doing something extraordinary. and the prize money will go to good use. People that watch this podcast or are here now probably know, but if you don't know, Matt builds a house every single year with his students, every single year. So like, imagine they purchase a piece of land, they public school, and then they build a house. They get a lot of builders involved. There's a lot of designers involved that are helping out the trades, and then the students construct the house, and then that's it. Then they move to the next one. It's pretty amazing. And that takes a lot of work, So, so Matt is not stuck in the classroom. However, he is at the job site. So there's a lot of responsibility that goes along with that. Not a lot of teachers would do this. So I think you deserve it. And I know the money will go to good use if you go all the way. What's some of the we went over it. Yeah. What's some of the prize money? It's $100,000 top prize, right?
Yeah. Yeah, first place prizes. And I think they give out, I want to say somewhere around the 15 mark of prizes. So it's like there's multiple first place winners that get that $100,000. And the cool part about it is 70 goes to your program, and assuming your district allows you to accept prizes. And then the second place is 50,000, and 35 goes to the program, and you as a teacher, you get 15. So it's not a bad payout, not only for your program, but just for the teacher personally. It's a nice little chunk of change.
Yeah, that goes to the mortgage
and
right there.
Yeah, right. Feed the kids.
Yeah.
And best part is they were talking when we had them on here. They make it in the contract when they get that money, it has to stay in your program. The school can't take it and spend it anywhere else except on your program. So
is super important and overlooked when grant writing happens.
Yeah.
My district is very supportive. However, there was a grant that came in, and some of the money got spread out a little bit. Let's just say that. It really should not be spread out. It should be focused on the person who, the program and the person that applied for the grant. It's not like just money comes in, So that's an important detail. You should be able to buy equipment from whatever supplier you want to buy from, and that's my understanding. Because Barbacek won it, and he said, yeah, you could just buy from any supplier you want, which is unbelievable, That's cool. You got any plans for what you would do?
Man, I remember we talked about this. I think it was Chris Davis had the best idea. He's the one that builds the paddle boards and surfboards and skateboards of the kid. He was going to buy the wakeboard boat so they could test product.
That's funny.
Man, I don't know. I know there's a handful of things I will get right away. I definitely I would like to have an extra enclosed trailer, and the rest of the scaffolding we'll need to get. I'd like to be able to have enough scaffolding go all the way around the house, stacked up to the edge, so we could set trusses, everything. No harnesses, nothing like that would be needed ever. And then an enclosed trailer to store that. And then also I would like to get an enclosed trailer. I've been watching for even used ones for a plumbing and electrical material supply storage, because running to I buy literally every fitting needed for plumbing, and I'm always too short. So I got to run back. So it's kind of like having your own little hardware store parked out in front of the job site would be nice. Kind of like what the plumbers and stuff do already. So those would be, but on, if you win 70,000, that's nothing of that 70,000 purchasing that stuff. So, I don't know. Like my brain, I've thought about it, but
hydraulic lift equipment or something.
I did think about that. Like having that would be nice. When I had a business, we had a telehandler, and that was nice. Having a smaller one would be sweet, or even maybe a Bobcat. Only kicker is then you got the maintenance and upkeep.
What
Although
about
we wouldn't tear the hell out of it.
What about the
Yeah.
the Microsoft HoloLens?
Yeah, the HoloLens. Yeah. Yeah, we get
AR,
we get from there.
augmented reality.
So yeah, it'll be if it gets to that point and I have to make those decisions, it'll be interesting to see what I come up with. You know, if it's one of those things, I'll just sit there and I'll pick apart at it for a while, or go big and.
Yeah, I wonder what Barbercheck has done. I know, of course, he bought some equipment, but I wonder if he keeps if he would want to publish the list and be like, all right, look, we bought this, gives people ideas, you know?
Yeah, I forget. He's talked a little bit about things. I think he's just kind of been picking away at his, because I mean, he had 35 grand, so that's a lot of money, man.
I think I would do some CNC stuff with CNC training. That's what I would do. Metalwork, CNC, you know?
And that thing is that, because that sucks up a lot. I mean, you could throw 35 grand away real quick doing that.
Yeah,
but our school, we got one. It's sweet, man. You would love it, having a plasma cutter CNC.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool.
Make whatever you want.
Right. I found the interview we did. I'll just let everybody know where to find it. So if you want to know more about if you're listening to this and you want to know more about Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, this is a good interview with the person. It sounds off, but you could just tune in. He's cool, a really nice dude, Tay Kang, and we did an interview with him back in April. And then this is on Shop Class Podcast. And right now, it's the one with 17 subscribers. There, this is the second channel we opened. The first channel we're going to close and migrate everything over. So, if you can't find it, sorry about that. But yeah, it's definitely this one. All right, cool. That's that. Just so awesome. I mean, let's see. Okay, here we go. Now, it's not easy because look at all the finalists. There's so many. And so imagine how many people applied. Jeez.
Yeah, I think it's 61 finalists.
Whoa. So how many people applied, do you know?
Do you remember what it was, Tim, last year? It was over 1,000 apply, or they at least signed up. I don't know how many people turned it in. I remember Tay said.
I mean, I signed up this year. I never turned it in.
You know what? I think I turned mine in like the day before. I mean, I pretty much took, like I said, I took last year's and refined it and adjusted. I mean, I had been working on it, but for a while.
Look at this.
You put time into it, though.
What's in the what kind of things what's the application involved?
You have to. They ask you, like, the first part of the application, they ask you questions like kind of what got you into teaching the trades, what's your class, what's your program, what's it do, like quantitative, qualitative stats. This one had special questions were like modules you had to answer, like how you handled COVID, and then there was one on social and emotional aspect, what you're doing and stuff for this. But like the general part of it's a lot of kind of about you, about the program, kind of letting you brag. But the challenging part of the whole thing is you have to do it in 2,000 characters, counting spaces. And sometimes that's real simple. Other times, like I remember when I first filled out things, I was way over. I was like, oh my gosh. And so you really have to, and I remember Tay and Barbercheck talked about it, you really have to try to, which is a good exercise, like at marketing yourself and your program quickly and to the point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking up, like, what's fun is that if you look through these winners, you can see, like, this guy's not too far. Wes Nyack. That's not far from me at all. And also these other people, these are good candidates for guests on the show. I mean, if they're
that's a good idea, hitting up the previous winners.
They did all the work for me because it's a filter. Because if they made it here, they're probably pretty good. you know. So yeah, I'm gonna look at this.
You find out, what kind of, the impact it had on their programs, what kind of stuff they did with the money, and
Oh yeah, these are the finalists for now, but the past winners too, right?
yeah.
That's a good
Yeah, and
idea.
if you scroll down right there, that I think it's up now. Matthew Caston, go down just a little bit. Springfield, Illinois, Capillary Career. That's we send our kids to that.
Oh wow.
So, like I said, we literally had 2 of us finalists in like half an hour circle. So that was kind of fun to see. And
Awesome.
but I didn't see any other names I recognized on there. I was hoping to see some more names.
Because, like if you're a manufacturer, this is it. This is your list. You want to recruit or you want to get your tools into the school. You want to like be a part of the future of the next generation coming up. This is it right here. They did the work for you.
Yeah.
I really, they should send this list. See, Harbor Freight has really taken the step forward, but every manufacturer in the U.S. should have this list. This is the list of the best schools, So if you go, and then how do you find past winners? Let's see. Go down to the bottom. No. Is there like a past winner area?
I thought there was. I've seen a past winner list because I've seen Barbercheck's name on it.
Yeah, that would be like perfect, All right, well that's just an idea, I could always contact them. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea, just go through this list. And that'll be where I'll, try and contact some of the guests, All right, cool. So that's pretty good. So Matt, congratulations. That's awesome. You deserve it, man. That's awesome.
Thanks. I'm pumped.
Great.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I found it in there. I was put it on the link, but I can't find it.
Oh, okay. You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, set me up. Oh, perfect. Here we go.
I got pictures and everything you got to take, Barbercheck or Bloomquist.
Oh, this is awesome. This is it right here. I'll just use this. And every manufacturer should do this. Now, look at this. So, Santee, I know Santee. I got a buddy that worked there for like 30 years. So he probably knows her. Industrial technology. I got to ask him. Yeah, that's interesting. And that's actually good because Santee was trying to, I don't know. They were always talking about closing the auto shop there. So, and the guy's so talented. So I don't know. So hopefully this brought some attention. Yeah, I think we went through these once. Jort, Chambly, that's cool. Yeah, this is good. Oh, I see. Finalists announced. Oh, meet the finalists. Okay, so this is just like a highlight reel, but this is not previous winners. Oh, this is it from last year. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Previous winners. There it is. All right, well, I'll get the full list from them. Anyway. All right, cool. So moving to the next topic. Let's talk about, he's not here tonight, but Barbercheck is working on something. It's kind of like an app. It's called Capable Maker. And if you go to the website here, I'm already logged in one of them. So I'll just so I'm here. And what it is like, imagine if you had you don't know what project you want to do and you have limited resources. So what this does is it says, okay, you have this many resources. Here are the projects you could do. It's like a project recommendation list. Actually, there's 3 factors. Your resources, like what tools you have, what skills you have, and your material. It takes those 3, it puts it in a blender, and it spits out a list of projects. The list is made from shop teachers. So you've got really good recommendations. So for instance, the way it works is you would say, Let's see. Let's say you got a combination square, you got a circle saw, you got a drill press, jigsaw, handsaw, and let's see, project length. I don't know. You want to do 10 weeks, 10 classes? We'll just put a big number. I don't want to limit it. And then how do I do it now? Do I just hit go or something? Oh, search projects right here. That's what's actually, I think that should get moved into,
yeah, we told them to move it underneath of it or whatever.
Yeah, because the thing is, you don't know where to, it should be here, like go. It should be like front and center. And also it's white until you touch it. So it's kind of hiding over there. Anyway, so search projects. Oh shit, there's no project. All right, let's
do you have to click on any of the badges? Because I know you can earn badges for like your skills. So you can assign badges. And once I can't remember if that matters or not, but pretty much.
What if I go like this? No. Drill. Bench plane. Let's see if it matters. No, it doesn't matter.
There we go.
I was missing some stuff. All right, so now I don't know. Let's see. I'm just clicking on. It's very beta. Do you understand? This is beta. All right. So if you click on this, boom. This is one of the recommended things. Okay, I could see. Yeah, you got to plane the wood, and then you got, you got to jigsaw this out. Timmy's the woodworker here. What do you think, Timmy? You want to make this with your kids?
I mean, I don't think that would be a number one pick of a project. You know what I mean? Like,
we're going.
You got to find projects that are, interesting to the kids. So
yeah. I agree.
Like you said, this is beta.
Teacher, and some of these are just spot fillers. He said so. Yeah. Don't take to heart too much what the project is, but he did make it where you as the teacher can load up your own projects and make your own guidelines for what the kids, what tools they have to get or badges or whatever. So all your own projects can be submitted into there and uploaded and stuff. So
right.
Yeah, anybody that's testing it out, just remember it's just example stuff. It's not
right.
And it'll
give you tools required, prerequisite, plans, supporting material, project theme, and duration. So, like right now, it's a beta. There's a lot of placeholders, but imagine if this took care of it for you. If this was okay. All right. Barbercheck said that he had airport pickup, so he was busy, but he might jump on later. But anyway, yeah. So this gives you, like, if you're fast, you need something, or you need plans, or whereas normally, like a lot of us, you have to search and come up with your own plans, which I like doing anyway. But this is going to take care of it for you. I think Barbercheck would explain it better. That's pretty much what's going on, right?
Yeah, I mean, I signed up the other day, actually. I finally got to my email that he sent me, for this. So I signed up the other day. I have not really gone through it, but I do think it's a good idea because, like, say you are a new teacher coming in and you have limited resources, in your classroom. Maybe you only have coping saws and bench, block planes. You got to find projects to do.
And a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, like, what would be good is that, as this gets populated by teachers adding stuff, that would be good. What's also cool is that, this is an opportunity to put tools in. And then, like, let's say you had, I don't know how he's working the commercial side, but imagine if you're a teacher, now I'm speaking for just ideas. I don't know if this is what his plan is, but imagine if I want to put my plans in there and I had a tool I was selling, then I would say, okay, well, if you got this and you got this, then you could use this tool and here's where to find it. That would be the sales side, the commerce side. I don't know if that's his plan, but that would be pretty good because then a lot of people would want to get in there, motivate people to put their plans up there, So
Well, and
yeah.
the tools, you can totally customize your own toolbox and put actual pictures of your own tool. And then I know we talked about in that modification area, putting changing that to location. So you would know to go check in green cabinet cubby 4, and that's where the coping saw is or whatever, So you
okay.
can totally the teacher, as a teacher, you can load that tool chest up or whatever completely to what your shop or whatever situation is, and actually have the actual picture of your tool. So especially kids learning, know where to find things. And, if they know where to find things, they're not asking you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Making the kids a little bit more independent.
That's something I didn't think about. So the kids will have a login too.
Yeah, I was going to ask that question. Are kids also going to be in? Like, would they be able to log into this too? Is that what he's hoping for?
I don't know, but it sounds like.
Yeah, I think the plan is to have like a student dashboard, and then there's a teacher dashboard that like the teacher runs the dashboard and can see I think the idea is so you can see what all your students are doing, where they're at, what badges they have. And badges, really, you make up your own. You can make up your own or use generic ones. The badges are like you pass these requirements that work with the bandsaw or to use the planer or whatever, So you kind of earn, just like in video games, you earn your badges to get a special weapon or whatever, game you're playing or something, or upgrade your vehicle in the game. So it's kind of has the theme. It's based around the idea of that, like, so that way the kids get more engaged. And then, but yeah, the students are supposed to be able to have their login. And then as a teacher, I believe you're going to have a dashboard where you can see the students. I don't know if it's gotten to that point yet, but that the involvement of that's exactly what's supposed to happen, I believe.
Cool. It's pretty exciting. I mean, think about this. This is the coolest thing part about it, is that this is a shop teacher creating an app for shop teachers. I mean, that's like excellent. I'm so happy that's happening. I think that shop teachers are interesting breed of teachers where, some of us are engineers, some of us are builders, and but all of us are trying to light the kids' fire. Get them excited about, being an engineer or being a builder, and then, or a craftsman, and you never know what that's going to lead to. So, teachers like us are multidisciplinary teachers. We've got so many different pieces of background. So, to have one of us, step up and do one of these, like a high tech thing, like an app, that's so cool. Because why not? I think in the shop teachers, imagine if you're trying to support another shop teacher. That's great. So because the schools are great and all, but it's kind of a limited situation, because it's just a public school, whereas I think that Harbor Freight, and then also people breaking out and doing like entrepreneurship stuff. This is important for inspiration and to support the shop teachers. Because a lot of times you buy stuff for the shop and it's not built for shop. Like, even to give an example, like I bought like the Jet 3-in-1 combination sheet metal shear brake roll, and I had to come up with a safety mechanism that's way better than theirs, like a hold down safety. It's like 10 times better. And it's like, yeah, like, so they should have consulted. They've never called me and said, hey, do you use that tool that you bought from us? Because why wouldn't they do that? I mean, don't they want us to recommend it? You know what I mean? So it's funny that there's no follow-up or research, yet that's what the shop is. It's like an R&D development tool, and we're paying for it.
And in the email we sent out in the newsletter, I put in a link that Barbara Check put links to a Google form. So once you play around with it, you can give some feedback on. It's real basic feedback and stuff, just kind of what you like, what you felt was important, So yeah, you can.
Oh, nice.
Because they're looking for feedback. So
Yeah.
or just message Barbara Check directly through IG.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, that's cool. All right, let's get to tonight's guest. All right, so Todd Clippinger is in the house. He's got the belt. He's got
Yeah,
the
I
belt.
can't. But the belt gets people excited.
Yeah, man. This is it right here.
Yeah.
I love this logo you have.
Oh, thanks. I worked with when I was back in Billings and I was in business. I worked with one of the local design companies and came up with that.
That is great. Yeah, it's like a 50s.
Kind of yeah, Americana.
Yeah,
Kind of Americana feel. Yeah.
that's cool. So, give us like an overview. So, I know you're taking on a new position, but maybe go back a bit and give us a little bit of overview.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to say, first of all, I did just get notification a few days ago. I am officially a licensed teacher for the state of Oregon. So
Nice.
It's such a relief and to finally get that, because now I can teach anywhere in the state of Oregon. And of course, I was taking classes on top of developing a new woodshop program, and just being a new teacher, which is challenging in and of itself. So I'm really excited that I'm licensed now. So anyways,
Awesome.
yeah, but how did I get here? Backing it up a little bit. I was back in '97. I got into the trades. I was burnt out. I was working for Costco, and I worked 8 years for Costco after the military. So I kind of got burnt out, and I wasn't moving up, and I had nothing really to demonstrate it to Costco that I was worthy of moving up. So I understood that, and I realized, well, I can either go to college for business, which did not appeal to me, or I could go out on my own. And so I got into the trade, and I started my own business from nothing. And so I started out as a handyman, and within 7 years, I became a juried artist. I was self-taught with furniture and furnishings, and I got juried into the Western Design Conference. And then my work was shown in museums and in galleries, art galleries, and published. And then at a certain point in my career, so I had about 21 and a half years. And I'm not going to lie, I needed a change. I was doing pretty good, but I did feel like I needed a change. And Andy Chidwick, who is a furniture maker and one of my peers, good friends, he had actually started teaching in Salem at North Salem High School. He had taken over a program, and it's a really strong woodshop program, and the district was expanding that program. And as it turns out, Oregon also as a state their big push has been to hire people from trades to teach trades.
That's great.
That's how Andy got hired. And when I got hired on, he dropped my name because actually the school was having difficulty finding anybody that they were excited about. So they were mostly they had a dozen people they had interviewed, and most of them were teachers that had been teaching for a long time, and they just kind of wanted an easy way to glide out, a fun class to teach, if you will. And they asked, Andy was on the board of the people he was part of the group of people that were looking for the new teacher, and he suggested me. And when they asked if he knew anybody, he suggested me, and they said, well, call him.
That's great.
This literally was like right after they had interviewed 3 people, and they were sitting there going, man, no way. Andy, don't you know somebody that we could hire from the trades and just get, he could use, get his, license through, the pathway, through teaching. And he goes, well, I know a guy, but I don't know if he's interested in leaving Montana. And they said, well, call him. And he texted me right then, and I had just got home, sat down next to Rita in the kitchen, and I looked at my phone, and I told Rita, I said, well, they're looking for a new teacher in Salem, Oregon. You interested in going to Oregon? She said, let's go. And
Wow.
I typed back, sure. And he called me like right then, and that started the whole process. So it's kind of fun the way that it all happened. And I was part of that expansion. And also when I was doing my schooling, taking my classes to get my license, I was taking classes with a lot of other people through a lot of different trades. You know, everything from cosmetology, 3D animation, and robotics, and engineering, and business. Everything you could think of in CTE, there was quite a cross section of people representing those. Also, were hired from trades with years of experience, 15 to 20 years of experience, and the state is placing a high value on that. So then we all have 3 years to get our. Once you're hired, you have 3 years to get your license, or you're done. So,
Yeah. This is amazing. I want to back up a second. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Also, I want to say thank you for someone who you're in the trades and you want to be a teacher. You know, that's not an easy thing to do. You know, a lot of the trades people, they don't want to teach, which I understand. You know what I mean? Like hanging out with teenagers while, you know, running a table saw is not something a lot of people want to do.
Right.
You know? But I, you know, like for instance, me, I teach, you know, I love teaching the kids welding or machine or engines or whatever. And to me, it's amazing, you know? Yeah. So let me back up a sec. So congratulations and thank you. Okay. Thank you for jumping in. More tradespeople, you know, maybe they would. I think more people would if the door was obvious, but I don't think it's very obvious.
No.
And we could address that. But let me back up a second. This stuff here, is this the stuff that you were showing in the, I say stuff, these pieces of artwork? These are the things that you made that were in the shows?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's a Frank Lloyd Wright inspired.
Oh, yes.
Originally, I call it a prairie chandelier, and that is a stairwell tower to a parking garage at a mall in Cleveland, Ohio.
Wow.
And so then if you remove the window grid and put in a shoji pattern, and I have sketches where I played with like shoji pattern grid the whole way, and then like halfway, a third of the way. And basically I play with half. I keep it simple. I play with, you know, whole, half, a third, 2/3, or quarters, and just played with it. And then, so. Well,
I one of my favorite architects is Frank Lloyd Wright. I really like, I love his style. Wait a minute. Am I getting this confused? Is he the one with the school in Arizona?
No, that's him.
Yep, that's him.
With Taliesin?
Yeah.
Tallahassee?
Tallahassee
I can never
West.
say it right.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yep.
You know, when I was there once,
wow, that's pretty cool.
It is. It's a great place. Yeah, it's a great place to visit because what it is that Phoenix area has built up, but not this school. He bought the land, and it was because I think it was too cold in Michigan or something at one season that he had his school, and he just moved everybody out west in like one shot. They just caravanned it out there in the 50s or something like that. And he, you know, it's like, I don't know, like 10 acres or it's got to be like 50 acres or something like that. I have no idea. But it's not, there's no malls, there's no parking lots, you know, and it's just the building, the visitor center, and then you can walk around and check out all the buildings that they built. Very cool.
Wow. Yeah, so that's one of the projects. And
you can see the influence. It looks like falling water popping out the side there, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, so but what's cool is you know, I'm self-taught, I'm very observant, and I'm good at grabbing the essence of design and placing in something else. I'm just doing what architects are doing too, but I'm just self-taught and I don't have an architect's degree, but I'm doing designs. So
it looks like your piece.
There you go.
Yeah, you've done a good job.
So the Dana Thomas house is in Springfield, Illinois. which is a prairie style, and those lights look dead on almost to what like some of the stuff in that house. So yeah, you nailed it, man.
That's awesome. Oh,
I've been
Wisconsin.
to a few Frank Lloyd Wright homes. There's one in Springfield, Ohio, that actually I became friends with the guy that did the furniture, that recreated the furniture for it. And then in New York, I went to some, and when I went up to the Roy Crofter's Village and visited, oh, I just dropped it. Crap, they do the mission style furniture that's Stickley. I went to Stickley, and I kind of did a tour. And turns out I was staying in Silverton out here. My first year, I had an apartment, and I was like 2 miles from a Frank Lloyd Wright Usonian home that has been preserved. So that was kind of fun to go see.
What now? I'm not very versed in this, but Stickley is this style.
Yeah. Well, Stickley, the company, actually does more than just the arts and crafts style. So arts and crafts would be the style. Stickley is the company, and Stickley actually do like a lot of different styles. Like they got Federal Furniture was a big one I remember that they did, and I can't remember what else, but yeah. So Stickley actually, they do a broad range of styles, and the showroom I went in I was blown away. I thought it was all different companies. It was all Stickley, but that's kind of what we know Stickley for. That was so famous. It was the arts and crafts style. Yeah.
Arts and crafts style. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Without going too deep down that rabbit hole, and actually probably Tim knows a lot about this too. I'm the more into the metal and auto, so, but this is like, you got like appreciation for American and European woodworking.
Mm-hmm.
The early part of the century probably doesn't come up much.
I mean, that's all just part of an evolution right there.
Yeah, they're like everybody's pushing the STEM, but what about craftsmanship from back in the day? This is kind of how we got here, to this point. I mean, it's beautiful work. Like with this is definitely, oh, there you go. Stickley Arts and Craft right there.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Okay. Very cool. Hey, Matt, where did you say that house was? A Frank Lloyd Wright house?
Springfield, Illinois, Dana Thomas house. Because he's originally up, what was it, Chicago area?
Or is it Wisconsin? Or
Wisconsin. He was with Wisconsin, and then he also did, because up in Chicago, is it Oak Park? I've been up to. He had an office and a house up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a suburb of Chicago, but yeah, Dana Thomas house.
Oh, is this his?
That's where I became a big fan of Frank Lloyd Wright when I was in like 7th or 8th grade. This was a commissioned house he built. If you go to the Dana Thomas one,
this one.
So I've been there multiple times, and that was my first like experience of like a true architectural masterpiece or whatever. And I fell in love with it. Like, so
wow.
The house, I was in charge of designing this house that we built. So we have like the lower pitch roof and little wider overhangs. And I mean, it's not like a true prairie style, but you can see some of the influence from it.
That's so cool.
It's like, and then you have your inset porches, and it's like he's really interesting to learn about. Like the dude's he's kind of an asshole, but but he was obviously also brilliant.
His chairs were punitive in nature.
His what?
His chairs were punitive. They were punishing to sit in.
Oh, the chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and one of his famous quotes was, I don't know what house it was, but somebody was having a dinner party and the roof was leaking, and they called him up and he told them move the chair.
Wow. Hey,
Damien, and then another one. Maybe I think the Dana Thomas one. When he would come visit, Dana would move the furniture he would come back, he'd visit and move the furniture back in the place where he thought it was supposed to be and stuff. But like, there's a documentary on, I don't know if it's on Netflix or Hulu or where I saw a Netflix on him. And it's really interesting. He's a guy that he's definitely a very confident guy with his work and stuff. His personal life was kind of crazy, a little bit traumatic. Not the best person all time kind of thing. I don't know. It's just really interesting. And his son is the inventor of Lincoln Logs too.
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
No. That's kind of a neat
That
fact,
makes
too.
perfect sense. That makes sense. That's so funny. Lincoln Logs. Wow, no kidding. Yeah, I mean, like the personal life of some of these icons, yeah, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Like even one of someone who influenced me to pick up a welder and get into it was Jesse James. Personally, I have no idea what he's like personally. You know, they get upset in the media about him and stuff. This doesn't bother me. It's just like I just want to learn about welding and hot rods and stuff like that. You know, who he's dating, I could care less. You know, so yeah, personally, some of these icons are like, probably pretty difficult to people to deal with, but nothing. I don't know. You got to put that aside, I think, unless they do something horrible. Then it's different. Yeah, this is cool. I recognize this. I don't know if this was. Oh, I see. Yeah, I recognize that. It's kind of these. Oh no, let's see. I don't know. Anyway, so all right, so very cool that we went back into Todd's inspiration. Let's go back over here. Look at this. Well done.
Thank you. Did you see the Tory Gate stairwell barrier?
Where is that? How do I find that?
That's in the gallery.
Let's see. Gallery. Oh, here we go. And Damien, thanks for joining. Damien's joining us from Australia, and it's daytime for him. He's got a bit of a sound problem. Oh yeah, you gotta fix it. It's like humming or something. No, it's bad. Bad. Like that.
Is your mic not plugged all the way in, Damien?
Yeah, you gotta replug that mic in. I'm just gonna mute you for a second because it's taking over the sound. Sorry about that. Anyway, Damien's coming from Australia, and it's daytime for him. And so just to give you a catch up, Todd's coming from Oregon, and he's a craftsman, and he's breaking into he became a licensed shop teacher. So he's excited about that. And we're just diving into the history here. But Damien, unmute yourself anytime you want. It's just that the mic, for some reason, was buzzing. Like it took over the whole thing. So we had to mute you. Okay. So Todd, tell us which. Oh wow! Look at this.
Yeah, that's
really well done.
If you scroll to the bottom, you'll see the house that those are in, and they're Frank Lloyd Wright inspired home, and that my brother and I built back in Ohio.
Here?
So I mean, go clear to the bottom.
Okay.
There'll be a Frank Lloyd Wright inspired home. There you go.
Whoa.
And you can go up one more picture above that.
Whoa! Look at this.
Yeah. So my brother and I built that back in Central Ohio, Centerbrook, Ohio.
Oh, man,
And that's
really nice.
that's like a mile from where I grew up. I mean, from my mom's house.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. That is absolutely beautiful. Is this the inside?
No, that's actually some neighbors. My brother and I put a bar in. We we finished out the basement and put in a bar.
Oh, nice.
The people entertain people, they have parties and stuff.
I like this detail.
Yeah, it's B.O.B.'s bar, Bob's Bar.
That's awesome. That is cool.
Yeah. So my brother, that's actually that was one of the last pieces I did as a business, and there's $1,800 right there.
Wow.
Knocked it out in like 4 days. It was a lot of fun.
That is cool. So I haven't done much woodworking, so I don't know what it takes to get this curve going, but that looks amazing to me.
Well, thanks.
Is that curved is that curved in both directions?
Yeah, it's curved in two directions.
So that's difficult.
So wherever it faces, no, it's not, because as long as where it's facing another leg, it's flat, then it's fine. You got four sides, you curve the two outsides, you're good. Then it's easy on the inside.
Ah, okay, all right.
So it still has that appeal of, and that's all reclaimed. It's all reclaimed.
Wow, that's cool. And now this is just a live edge, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's doing these the river tables, and I'm always thinking to myself, like, I know it's cool, but like, to me, I'm like, but you're adding plastic to the wood. Why are you doing that?
It's up to people. I never did them, but I also, I had a couple of slab tables that were on the books to do before I left, and when I shut my business down, I had to drop them, and one was bid out at $12,000, was okay, and the other one was bid out at $15,000, and that one had the green light too.
Wow.
At the end, I was doing work for pretty wealthy people and pretty high end homes. Like, I had work going in. I went into like a $16 million home. I hand carved some railings that had to go. They went up the stairs, and then they had to completely turn 180 degrees. And I hand carved to match what another shop was running on the molder. And I kind of hit a high water mark with a lot of my work. And all those guys were the ones that they developed fracking. I was told at the time not to post or share who I was working for, because it drew so much hatred towards anybody else.
Listen, I'm a car guy, so and the fracking thing, I know, like, I'm into energy, is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Listen, all within reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like electric cars and solar, of course. But be real. Like, what if I use the stove tonight? It's gas, and and I rent. So sure, if they had some sort of incentive program and I could get solar for the place where I'm renting, great. Like, all within reason. We're headed in the right direction. I think, obviously, fracking there's some controversial stuff to it. It's true. Like, they leave the wells open and the whole thing. But this is like, but just living on the planet, you're going to do some damage,
Yeah, I didn't want to get into any, any political or discussions, that would spark a fire. But, it's funny at the time I was just like, and I worked for a lot of wealthy people. They said, I don't want to see this on the internet. I don't want to see, and you just respect that. And what's interesting, I've mentored a lot of people, a lot of other guys that have gone professional. And when I tell them, when somebody says, I don't want to see this on the internet, I tell them, if they say don't take pictures of it, then don't take pictures of it. And I'm like, and the guys are like, well, how do I share that? How will I get more work? And I'm like, look, if you respect somebody enough that you don't take pictures of the work and you don't post it on the internet, then you have their trust, and you're going to end up working for them and all their friends. So,
rich people have rich friends.
Yeah.
And you look like an amateur if you're posting it after they ask you not to. So,
right.
If it's like,
you
be the quiet professional, do your work and treat them right, and they'll take care of you. You take care of them, and they'll take care of you.
Exactly. This is amazing that you're willing to go into the classroom with students after this career, and I just think that's incredibly valuable.
My goal was to teach adults, but I could not work my business my business was not compatible with the sharing that I was doing online, actually, because it takes time from that. So my long-term goal also was get licensed, teach kids, and also start, get into a situation where I can also teach adults. So, now I'm more in teaching mode, and I've got all this very legitimate experience. I actually made my living at it successfully. Now I can pass that on. But
Nice.
I was wanting to pass it on, and due in part that I was hurting a lot. I wake up at night and my knuckles would just be throbbing, and or it just. I mean, I'm breaking down. My joints hurt, and it's easier to. It's easier to teach on my body than it is to do the work. And I love the work. I mean, I love production woodwork. I love doing. I love the technical aspects of it. I love figuring it out. I love banging it out as fast as I can, but still also I'm doing like high quality work. I mean, that I kind of hit that high water mark where I could do it. I could do it well, and I had competitive designs, and I was well respected.
It's great. That's awesome. Yeah, these are beautiful. So, okay. So now you're headed over to the
That's the Japanese torii gate there.
Oh.
Yeah,
Here?
right there. Yep.
Wow, what is that?
That's a closet, and so from the front it's just an abstract, but the clients, and this is in that Frank Lloyd Wright inspired home. From the side, it's got a mirror on the wall, so it doubles the image, and it turns into a vessel.
Whoa.
I designed this. The clients were like, "Hey, we have an idea for a closet. We'd like to go out to dinner and discuss this." And the client literally came up with an idea of that S curve on a napkin, truly a napkin sketch. And I'm like, "Yeah, I can do that." And so I built those. Yeah.
It's so funny. What is it about these that is just everyone really is attracted to this design? It's just such a cool thing. I don't know why.
Yeah, and it's the what's so cool is I not only designed and built those for that house, I built the house.
Oh yeah,
with my brother. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Frank Lloyd Wright designed off nature. Nature's beautiful.
Well, and actually, a lot of his designs. I think what really kicked it in for me was when I went to the house in Springfield, Ohio. I can't remember which one it was, but he had started building the house, and he went to Japan, and he came back, and he's like, "We got to stop. I've got new ideas," and that was when he first implemented his Japanese influence. So really. Oh, and there was a book. I'm kicking myself in the butt because I have the book 50 Views. What is it? Frank Lloyd Wright, 50 Views of Japan. And there was a book somebody else had done. It was Japan, 50 Views of Frank Lloyd Wright, because the influence went both ways. And I saw that book and I didn't buy it, and I'm like an idiot because I've never seen it again.
Oh, that's funny.
So, and I took welding, but I didn't have time to number one, invest in the materials or invest in all the tools, get my skills up to speed. It was easier to work with metal guys and get their input and collaborate, which I really enjoyed doing. And of course, I could be building a top while they're building the base, and then we would go do installs together. So, the metal guys used me back too when they would design a handrail, or we would design a handrail together. They just like we design tables together, or chandeliers, or handrails and whatever. But we would use each other back and forth. It expanded our workforce, and then I would go over and help load up the metal, and they'd come over and help load up the handrail on my end, and then we'd go do installs together. So it was an easy way for a small business to expand your workforce, but not also have a bunch of employees or have to do everything yourself. So
yeah, that's cool. Good collaboration. Yeah, that's awesome. Nice.
So, yeah.
So so you shut it all down, and you're gonna new chapter.
New chapter, teaching, passing it on, yes. And I can't believe, I mean, this thing kind of fell out of the sky into my lap, and it turns out I like it. In fact, I love it. So,
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, teaching's great.
Same here, Todd.
it is, yeah. It's been a bit of a culture shock, though, the bureaucracy, dealing with the bureaucracy of the district, you know.
Look at all of us are nodding our heads. even in Australia, he's on the other side of the planet, and he's like, "Yep."
Hey, it's worldwide. It's a worldwide problem.
if you ever think it's just you, no.
Yeah.
That's my microphone now.
Oh, it's much better.
There you go.
Much better.
Yeah.
I switched to the computer mic.
Yeah, way better. That's good. That's funny. Something I always tell teachers, I mean, maybe if you already know this, but as far as bureaucracy goes, like I got a friend of mine, he has a bakery in, he's got a bakery in Englewood, New Jersey. It's awesome. It's a French bakery. He's actually Israeli, but he studied in France, and he's amazing, right? So he goes over to part-time, he managed somehow, he runs like 2 bakeries. Somehow he's also teaching at the community college. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I spoke with him one time, and he says, it's really frustrating. They hire some people that they should probably get rid of. And he was complaining to me. And I said, stop right there. I said, this is not going down the right path. You're upset because of the people around you. You're upset because of bureaucracy and red tape. And I said, you got to teach for your students and to expand your skills. The place where you are, like, you just have, this is what I tell people. You're a teacher regardless of the location. Like, it doesn't matter that you're teaching in, he's teaching in Bergen Community College in Paramus, or you could be in Ohio, or you could be in Oregon. Doesn't matter. Teach and really just dedicate yourself to projects for these students and develop your skills as a teacher. There's always going to be these bureaucracy things you got to jump through, and so these are don't do it. Like, my point is, don't do it for the school location. Do it for the students and for your career, and you'll be fine.
Yeah,
you'll be fine. Think big. Think huge. And everything will be fine, because, you could get into the little stuff. You could be like, well, I don't like that they're doing something with the shop. Forget it. Just you got to just do something for your career and for your students, and everything will be fine. Yeah.
Yep. I would agree. I know. Seeing some of the payoff with the progress that the students make and how excited they are. The parents are so excited.
Yeah.
That's the big payoff, when mom starts crying because their son, all of a sudden had a reason to get up and go to school.
Yeah. And shop class is like an incubator. It's protected. It's like a bubble. Whereas all the other classes, are kind of like the state's involved, and the Pearson education is involved, and all these.
I'm like, I recognize I kind of have it easy. It's a fun class, so it makes it easier for me. But the kids don't realize is I'm tricking them into using math and geometry,
right?
And strengthening their writing skills by doing sketches and notes.
Yeah, totally.
So I'm still supporting the core classes, but we're giving them a chance to put it into action and teach them problem solving skills. So
yeah, exactly. Now, also at some point, did you try and start up some sort of school at some point? I think I remember that.
Well, yeah, I was going to sell stuff online, but the fact is, and I did kind of start to mention this earlier. The fact is, me having a business with clients that are willing to pay me a lot of money, and good amounts of money, it directly competes with my time. Doing stuff online directly competes with my time to provide the service that I should be providing for those clients. and it was very difficult for me to. It's just very difficult for me to run, to run a business, which was running and I was succeeding, and then try to do something else. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just not.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I got good money going over here, and we don't. The thing is, I hit a point. I needed to expand too. I really had to expand, and I had people work for me, and I really enjoyed. I did enjoy. I had some guys I took in under my wing, and I knew. Some guys would complain about training your competition, but the fact is, most of those guys didn't become my competition. They became people that I could rely on, and I used them when I needed them. And some of them, they were no good, and I never used them again, of course. But I knew that they were all going to go out on their own. But I really,
I see.
I really
Let me just interrupt for a second. There's a hesitance. I know this is kind of like an old school thing. There's a hesitance to bring on people because you'll train them and they could just leave.
Right. Well, I never had a problem with that, in that I brought guys in under my wing, and I taught them, and I was excited to teach them, and then they would go out on their own, and I would hire them back. I'd call them up and say, hey, I need help with this project. I need an extra man on it, and here's what I'm looking at. We got this much involved in it. This much is for you. What do you think? I mean, I paid them as a sub, or sometimes I'd say, I need, are you interested in this project? Let's take a look at it together, and we'd figure out what it would take for the two of us. And then that was my bid. And then, I got my money, they got their money, my metal guy.
Yeah, like a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah. And they would call me back. So there was a great pool of people. We all used each other that, had grown over the years, and we could rely on each other. I knew that they'd keep the house clean. They wouldn't ding the walls. You wouldn't find them sniffing somebody's, the daughter's panties. Really obscene things that have happened when I was in the trades. And, I could trust these people, and they would do high quality work, keep privacy private, and, when it was required, and do good work.
I see. When you install, when you go to the job site.
Yeah.
You got to trust people on the site because you're going into someone's home.
Yeah, got no idea until you start going into homes what people do. And it's like, I was working with a higher level of, over the years, I filtered out all the dirt bags, and, I was working with a good group of guys.
Yeah.
They showed up sober. They showed up on time. They were professional.
Yeah. I got you. Wow.
That's hard to hit in the trades.
Yeah. Wow, that's difficult. It's not easy being a business owner. You're out on your own, and work's going to show. So if there's and bad reputation spreads probably faster, right?
Oh yeah.
So.
But anyways, had successful business. Really didn't have the time to turn that over into teaching online, and I still would like to do that, but I'm like, what I was doing, there was no way I was going to have time. I could not successfully split my time.
No, what do you mean teach online? Like you were going to do craftsmanship classes or something?
Well, so either, I have my own ideas for plans. Because basically I was planning and designing my projects for clients. So, I mean, I know I can design. So, sell my own plans and ideas and the information to how to. So, or also like, I had the gal that was Kim McIntyre was teaching or running Pratt Fine Arts, and she asked if I'd be interested in teaching out there too. So schools like that, I would I'd be interested in going and doing something.
Now, let me just check out your YouTube channel here. What's the main focus of the channel?
I just started sharing information, but you can see I haven't done anything for years.
Yeah, that's okay. There's a lot of subscribers. Jesus. So dust collection.
Yep.
Sandpaper, saw stop demonstrations, air compressor, small parts, super dust.
Oh, cutting small parts. I just shared that with somebody else recently, and the info is so good in that.
Look at this. You're contemplating the small part.
Yeah.
This is funny.
But no, seriously. And the thing is, I didn't like do some research and to come up with this stuff that I share. I mean, I did it for a living. This is the way that I did it.
That's a great intro. Yeah, what do you do about mitering small stuff? Oh my God. Yeah, you need a holder of some kind, right?
So yeah, and a lot of people were like, "Well, just cut it with the hand." So I'm like, I'm a power tool guy. So yeah. So anyways, too, because of my background and my view of things, also I've been teaching kids. A lot of the other, when I with even with middle schoolers, I'm teaching them to use the miter saw.
Yeah.
And the other middle school teachers think I'm nuts. So.
Oh, I see. Because it's like, oh, it's risky or whatever.
Yeah. But I've had really good results. I've had a few people not hold the piece and it, blows up in the machine.
Wow.
But I've had really good results with teaching table saw and miter saw. But the projects are simple too. I mean, they're simple.
Now, did you start teaching already? Is that?
I've been teaching for 3 years.
Oh, okay. But you had to get certified.
Yeah. So here's what my pathway to licensure was. I had to be teaching. And so that was on shaky grounds, wasn't sure if I was going to be teaching when COVID hit.
Right.
I had to be teaching, and each year there was, benchmarks that I had to hit for classes that I was taking that showed progress to getting my license. At the end of 3 years, I submitted the last of my, I got, this stuff done, and then I was either, okayed or not, and that just came through.
Oh, that's great.
Just I got the official email on Saturday morning.
Wow.
So said I'm licensed.
So you taught through COVID?
Yes, online.
And I had to go online too. What did you? How did you handle that one?
Oh, terribly. Actually, the thing is, I think I lean more heavily on drawing and, just drawing ideas. Kids are so naturally creative anyways. But what we're trying to do is formalize that instead of just starting to build a bike ramp or a ramp for their skateboard, is pre-plan it, plan ahead, and then sketch it out, make a list of things, point out details. So I show them how to make working drawings, start out with rough sketches, something cleaner, and then actual, scale drawings. And then also I start then advance to like using the kitchen designer for Lowe's is a great way to, because the kids on the Chromebook, it's not a program they had to load on the computer. They could use the kitchen planner from Lowe's and design kitchens. And actually I had kids design legitimate kitchens with the Lowe's kitchen planner, which I was blown away, middle schoolers.
Wow.
And then also talk about, by manipulating materials, making it stronger. You guys probably do this, like the bridge project, where and you start out with a piece of paper, just sags over, but then you start bending it and adding strength to it. Same thing with metal, and the way that the wood's manipulated to make it stronger, build a bridge out of paper, show. And there was a point where I won a grant and got a whole bunch of maker kits, and it was just Ziploc bags full of random stuff, and I sent those out, and then I would do a challenge, and the kids would just use whatever was available in the maker kit, and come up with something. And origami was a good one, but I was really disappointed that the kids for some reason didn't like it. I was just like, this is freaking genius. It's got geometry in it. There, and there's some where you got to measure over halfway or a third of the way and then fold it. And, it kind of involved figuring those things out. but they did not like the origami. The origami was a bust.
I wonder. I tried a little origami, except I did it more of structural. So like you had to make a tube and put as many books as you could on top
Oh wow!
at a
Yeah,
certain height.
yeah. So basically a paper bridge.
Yes. And
Yeah.
then another one was, could you hold how far away?
Instead of this way on end. Okay.
Yeah.
So compression.
Compression. And then the
Yeah.
other one was how far away can you, like if you folded a piece of paper, how far
Yeah.
away could you put your cell phone? And you had to have divisions lined out. Very difficult to get even an inch away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't you can only hold it with one hand, and you can't wrap the phone. So it's like you had to make like it almost looked like a fan folded. And,
Okay.
yeah, so kids did that. That was good.
Yeah.
Anytime it involves failure, subjective projects. How pretty is the origami? I don't know how many kids. Maybe they won't be into that. I'm not sure what happened there, but that might have been why. I don't know.
Well, I tell the kids and parents, look, I'm not trying to make carpenters out of anybody or furniture makers, cabinet makers. I'm not trying to make construction workers out of you guys. But woodshop's just a delivery vehicle to deliver the lessons of, learning problem solving, putting math geometry into action, and, pre-planning, troubleshooting. So, when the kids leave my class, I'm like, when you guys move on, think about these things. If you like doing this, you learned the same things that are needed in engineering, and design. If you like art, we cover some design process and even just coming up with design. And the kids are very artistic. So, that's the great thing about, I made a great living being, combining all these things, technical knowledge and information, hand skills, the physicality of it, being artistically creative and, problem solving. I loved it.
That's
I
awesome.
had a very fulfilling career doing that. I get very excited about it. The kids I get them very excited because I show them pictures of my projects and talk about the challenges and the money I made or didn't make, and so.
Yeah, that's very well put. For people that are listening to this, if they're considering becoming a shop teacher, a lot of the general idea behind the shop teacher thing is like, oh, well, those kids aren't going to college or whatever. So like, oh, well, they're going to trade. No. This is just a vehicle, like you said, towards teaching them about, application. It's just the application of ideas in 3 dimensions, particularly.
That kid going to MIT, the engineering program, they need to have their brain connected to their hands too and learn these things. So,
yeah, exactly. So that's pretty cool.
Even just giving them confidence in using tools or machines, kid might be afraid to, use a saw when he comes into your class. Now, when he's home, he's more adept to using it, and then maybe he won't be afraid to cut the grass.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. And you know what I mean? I've got kids that come back, they're like, my mom wants to do, she's like bought some furniture at a yard sale and we're collecting this stuff, and we got a miter saw, but she doesn't know how to use it. He learns in my class, he goes home and teaches his mom how to use a miter saw. And then they start using the tools that I'm teaching them in class, and then they're building furniture, repairing furniture and painting it up, using the YouTube videos plus the information that I've given, and they're doing this stuff at home.
Yeah. One of my students during COVID remodeled his parents' bathroom.
Oh man, that is so cool.
Convinced his mom to remodel the bathroom that they wanted to do, and it turned out good. Like, he did a good job. He's really good at it. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So talk about taking it home with you.
I think it's so impactful too. You guys realize too, and you guys. Well, I'm preaching to the choir here, but for everybody that's watching, it's so impactful to give them some success at this point in their life, and what that does for them from there on out. Not necessarily just trying to make them carpenters, like I said, but just enjoying that success, being able to figure something out and then be able to execute it. I think is incredibly powerful at this point in a person's life.
Yeah, that's a very important point that you're making. Is that I think the schools get wrapped up with this old saying of education's not the filling of a pail or a bucket. Like you're not just trying to like check the boxes. Like okay, they did this, they did this, they did this, they did this. You're not. You can check all the boxes you want, but humans are designed to get rid of information that's unnecessary. So you might have checked that box because you gave them a test on Monday, but on Tuesday they forgot because there was no reason to retain that.
Right.
So what really you're trying to do is just light the fire, and then or give them confidence or whatever it is. And sometimes, like for instance, there are like I teach on the side intro to welding. I have a adult 14-year-olds and up, mostly adults take my class. They can figure it out, I'm sure, but what I'm doing is I'm guiding them through the most difficult part of the process, and then on purpose we put two pieces together at the end of the class and we put it in a vise, then we break it with a hammer on purpose. And what it does is it shows them that like the weld that they like, what the shape looks like. So now when they go home, they know what to look for, and they're like, okay, at least they have some physical experience with what a good weld is or isn't, and then they could take it from there. So they could take. So, but am I gonna like imagine if I just gave them a test? Like, all right, what does a good weld look like? And it just wrote down that this would not light the fire. This would not give
right.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like. I think one of the things too, that the difference between middle school and high school, not that we're not trying to light the fire in high school as well, but in high school it becomes more, and especially the lower farther they go within the program at high school, it becomes very career specific. At the middle school, it's like I'm just trying to light that fire and get it going as hot as I can, so that they'll start wanting to learn and keep going with it. So,
yeah, that's cool. Duke teaches middle school.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and that's been my thing. Teach them as much as possible in the little bit of time that you have. My whole thing is exposure. You're right.
Yeah.
We do a lot of the woodworking with hand tools, up in 8th grade, but then we get into the machines, robotics, 3D printing.
Oh,
but
cool.
Like everyone else said, throwing sparks, you're trying to get one of those sparks to light a fire, and, take the classes in the high school. It's job security for you.
Yeah, exactly. So
nice. And Nick, you're teaching high school or middle school?
Yeah, high school.
Okay. Right.
I started at the middle school and then I graduated finally. But I'm still stuck in high school.
That's so
Can't
funny.
get past that 12th grade.
Me neither. That's great.
Super senior.
Well, it's interesting because when I was there's actually a set of the Binga dining chairs in my gallery, and actually that's Andy Chidwick's design. That is largely my work though, and I was out working on his house. Supposed to when I went to his house, was supposed to do remodel. His guys had quit, and he had just come back from like the woodworking show tours that he was doing. His guys had quit, and he's like, "Hey, I got to run a class for adults."
Which one is it?
Said, scroll on down. They're Babinga dining chairs. You can't miss them. And there they are. Yeah, and that's in Andy Chidwick's shop. That's his design. So he's like, I need these chairs built for a client back in Virginia. Can you do these? And I'm like, yeah, I can. So I think of, usually when you think of subcontractors, you think of plumbers and drywallers and electricians. But think of a subcontractor is actually building chairs.
Wow. Like look at these are all compound curves.
Yeah. So, anyways, so I was building those chairs. Andy was running a school for a desk or something. And I saw, he had like 4 old people there. And this is the bad thing about, when you think about teaching adults, you think of teaching younger people that are going to do something with it well, he made a comment to me, and then I witnessed this. He said the problem with teaching adults is it's usually old people that have disposable income. They're 70 years old, and this is just a dream vacation for them, and they're going to take it to their grave, and teaching the kids is so fun because that you're planting seeds that are going to grow.
Yeah.
And you have such an impact on somebody that's just entering the world, essentially, the human race. So I like I like what we're doing by teaching the kids. It's pretty exciting.
That is cool. Yeah, it's pretty interesting perspective there. You know what's funny? The oldest person I taught to weld was 80 years old.
Yeah.
And it was a couple of challenges in that. You need a pretty good auto dark helmet and magnifying glass, and then you also need lights. Yeah, you need lights. But he did it. He did do it, and he fixed his lawn furniture, he had the money to buy new lawn furniture. That wasn't the point. But you're right. Like, yeah. So he's just gonna hang on to that, and whereas if you get somebody new, yeah, they're gonna be sharing the knowledge and growing up, and they can have a whole career based on it,
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Cool. This is good. Well, this is pretty cool, man. So now what's your next move is you got certified and then you're going to continue teaching. Nothing changes, right? Just the cert?
No. So, right. So now I'm licensed. I am open to teach anywhere in the state of Oregon. And, to get my teaching, to get certified, and to be clear, I don't have a teaching degree. I'm certified to teach CTE programs, construction trades only. So,
and did you and just so we're clear, did you have a college degree?
Zero college.
That is perfect. I'm glad that you said that because, I think a lot of tradespeople are probably not going to jump into teaching because it's, they say, oh, you have to have a degree, at least in the States, but it's not true. You could, if you're teaching CTE, you can do it.
Yeah. So that was the thing. Going back to Oregon's big push is they put a high value on people that have CTE experience to hire them out of trades to teach that trade. So
yeah, that's cool.
And it's not just construction trades. It's automotive, auto body, metalworking, and fabrication, and first responders, robotics, all that stuff. So they put a high value on hiring people out of the trades to teach that, and I was just part of that push. But so I came in with not a day of college, and I'm certified. I took, it's sort of like this. Instead of going to school to become a doctor and going through that whole process, it's like becoming a physician's assistant.
Yeah, I got you. That's cool.
Now,
what about now I don't know what it's like over there, but in New Jersey you're treated as a regular teacher. So you're part of the union. On the first day of the 4th year, you get tenure, which, to be clear with people, that's not 10 years, it's tenure. and also, to be clear to the people who are not teachers, if they happen to listen to this, it doesn't mean they can't fire you. They absolutely can. It just means they have to have a reason written down, and a court has to decide whether it's valid. That's all it means.
I don't know about the tenure thing, honestly.
Okay.
That wasn't a part of the. Well, when do I get tenured? It wasn't even a factor. It was just,
The only reason
I'm gonna have to find out now.
Well, here's the thing, and I was talking to a friend about this the other day. because a friend of mine is about to get it and he's like, I don't care. I was like, okay. Of course, this is not the reason you're teaching is to get tenure. However, if you ever get a supervisor that decides that they want their cousin working there and not you, okay, this is the protection against that. Now, is that going to happen if you're doing awesome work? Very unlikely. However, it can. And so this would be the controls in place that they would have to find an actual reason. Are you actually doing a bad job teaching? And then I would fire you. Like they have every right to fire you. I'm 100% on their side. However, you do need some controls against like just some frivolous person just doing stuff because they feel like it, So that's where the tenure comes in. The only reason I ask is because in California, I have no idea how, but the shop teachers are excluded from the union.
Oh, interesting.
As far as I know, unless I'm wrong.
No,
but they're not in the union at all. So there's no.
I can be. And here you can choose to be part of the union or not. That's your choice. And shop teachers are not excluded.
Oh, interesting. Is that how it is, Matt? Is that how it is by you too?
Yeah, we have the option to not be in the union if you don't want to. Which
wow.
All it does is save you union dues. Which aren't even that much. So I'm not like a huge union person. I'm not anti-union by any means, but it's just like whatever. I don't really.
Yeah, it's got problems on both sides. I'm not advocating. Yeah. I hope that. I don't want to start that path down a discussion down that road because I'm both. I'm just saying it does help in some scenarios. That's all. I was just curious about what goes on out west.
Yeah. Well, and that's and I'm not well versed in all of it. I have a very, very extremely topical small knowledge of all that right now. It's like when you're working to getting your license, you don't give a crap about any of that. All you can focus on is, I'm trying to find my ass along, as I'm taking all these classes.
And honestly, the best job security is just to do a great job, which clearly you're going to do.
Right. So that's the thing is, really what my plan is now. I don't plan on going anywhere. I love where I'm at right now. And I can see, what's great is if you are licensed for the state, then you have options, and coming from the trades, shutting my business down, coming to a place where I have no reputation and selling off a lot of my equipment leaves me very vulnerable, feeling very vulnerable until I get licensed and, having a little more security that way. So that was one of the challenges. I know I posted in in my last Instagram post about getting licensed, one of the things that did hit me harder than I just didn't see coming. Andy warned me was, you will grieve the death of your business. And that is because that business was my identity. I was Lord of, I was king of my kingdom and in that realm. And I was very good at what I did. But that was also because of years of experience. And, I know that I'm self-motivated and I will be that same person as a teacher. And I will strive to give the, most kick-ass program that can be. And, that kids everybody wants in and the parents want the kids in it. And the district wants the program to continue. So it keeps me relevant. But, it's, the goal is just to do the best that I can and have a program that people are really excited about and that the people see the value in.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, 100%. I could see you got a lot of energy. It's great. So I'm going to try and visit, that area. And so, you're kind of in an interesting spot in the country.
Yeah.
Where, is this is like...
I was just about to ask whereabouts in Oregon he was.
Yeah.
Salem.
Yep.
Salem. I got a cousin there.
Yep. Oh, you do?
Yeah, or my wife's cousin. I visited a trade school in the north of Portland a few years back to try and find out what was going on over there. It was like a construction school. took the
Oh,
kids
okay.
out of the school for like half the day and trying to claim some of my trip as business.
Yeah. Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I'm actually, if you look to the left of Salem and you see Monmouth and then Independence is there, I actually live in Independence right on the river.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. I'm right by Riverview Park. You see that little,
Yeah, right here.
yeah.
Let's
And
go
field
there.
trip with Ron.
I'm known for this. I like to just go straight into it. Because it's great. It's like this easy way to travel around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Let's see.
we just, and so with all this going
Wow.
on with the license, I also just moved here. We were
Oh,
out in the
that's so
hills
cool.
outside of Dallas. Yeah. And so we're like 12 miles from the school, but the school I teach at is just a few blocks straight up from the Capitol. And so well, I was doing distance teaching, and I was at the wood shop is outside the school, right? The rest of the main school building. And so when there were riots going on and the helicopters flying over, everybody left school for the safety of the teachers. They didn't tell me.
No way. Wait, where's this school? Can we go there?
Yeah, go back to the Salem, and there'll be a marker for the Capitol. Yeah, so the custodian was still there, but everybody had gone home, and he's like,
This
"Yeah, what are
is
you
pretty-
doing here?" Yeah, so go a little bit to the west or east, just a little more, and you'll see the Capitol. Let's see, there's Liberty Street. Go a little more east. It's on Capitol Street. Yeah, go a little more.
Oh,
Just a little more east. There's High Street and then Capitol. There's Capitol.
where's Capitol?
Oh, there's let's see, Cottage. Oh, go just a little bit more.
Let's see. Capitol.
Yeah, yeah. So then, and then I'll go north just a little bit, straight up Capitol, and there'll be It's at the Capitol and D Street right there, Parrish Middle School. So,
No way.
so this year I taught at Parrish Middle School. Previously, I taught at both, and the first year I taught at North Salem High School, which is behind, yeah.
That's awesome.
You can see North Salem High School in the background.
Here?
No, go back the other way.
Oh, this
So
way.
that building, yeah, right there. That's it. So I was running the first year. I was running between the two schools, teaching classes back and forth.
Oh my God.
There were some days that I had to run back and forth twice, 3 times.
I'm looking for the.
I started at the high school, run to the middle school, run back to the high school, run back to the middle school.
I'm looking for the duct work. That's where you know where the shop class is.
Okay, so now the shop class, you see the pickup truck.
Yeah.
Okay, well, see those safety cones?
Yeah.
That's where the wood shop was. That's now the engineering lab. And you got to go now to access the shop. You got to go like under that bridge, that skywalk.
Oh, here.
And yeah. So there, I know the what is it? The streetcar didn't drive back in there, but
no. That's funny.
Yeah, but
they need to give you a golf cart, Todd, for driving back and forth.
Oh yeah.
There were days I was so lost, especially because it was my first year. So there's my shop. That's it.
There?
Yeah. Yeah. And I take
cool.
materials. I take materials in that overhead door right there.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. Nice. That's great, man. And is it true it rains a lot over there?
In the winter, definitely. It's been so I think it starts typically at the end of October, and then instead of like when I was in Montana, it would snow occasionally. It just rains. It just starts raining and just rains, and it's just kind of constant. And so moss grows on everything, fungus grows on everything, and and then it dries out during the summer. It starts drying out in May.
Okay,
So,
where
it
was
actually is fairly
yeah.
temperate here. Yeah.
Where was the like the area where they is this? Oh, it's Salem. Okay, but in
Yeah.
oh, this is not Portland. Portland had like a
No.
whole. Yeah. Okay. That's crazy though. So they didn't
Yeah.
tell you; they just left you there.
Yeah. So, yeah, Capitol Street goes from the Capitol pretty much just
Yeah.
east of the Capitol building and the grounds right up to my school. And yeah, so that I heard the helicopter out there, and then the
Wow.
they didn't like make an announcement over the PA or anything. They just told the teachers, you guys need to go home for the safety of everybody. And I'm still working.
Oh
And
my god.
custodian comes in, hey, what are you doing here? You guys are supposed to leave because of the security issues. Because there was riots going on.
And have you been to Eugene?
Yes.
I heard it's really nice there, right?
Yeah, it is.
So
Yeah.
I want to go to Arcimoto.
Yeah, I was going to look that up and see where that was at, other than Eugene. I mean, specifically address.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, here we go.
So you know what's really cool too? Just south of Salem, I don't know if it's 30 miles even. Anyways, is Albany, and they have some big wood turning symposium there.
Oh, really?
That people attend from all over the country. Yeah. Yeah.
I saw there was a Albany. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Albany was in Albany, New York, by us.
Right.
That's the capital.
Oh, okay.
Capital of New York.
I did not realize that.
Yeah. That's cool. Wood turning. Oh, Tim left the meeting, but Tim's like a wood turning master. He's really good at that. Yeah, he's the man. He does these.
Cool.
What do you call it when you use two different types of wood? Maybe a blonde wood and like a red type of wood, and you put them together, and then you glue them all up. What is it?
Segmented turning.
Segmented?
Yeah.
That's cool. He does a good job of that.
I figured the segmented turnings were going to be, I wanted to start introducing those this year. So hopefully, I went on did you guys have a bunch of extra money because of COVID? The COVID fund?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I went on a freaking shopping spree. And one of the things that I asked for was just a small open-ended drum sander, the Supermax, like 1632. So we could have the kids glue up segmented rings, send them through to flatten them and clean them up, and then.
Oh, I see. Open-ended.
Well, because if it's a ring, you're going across the grain, and then with the grain, and then across the grain again if it's a ring. So you have to run it through a sander.
Did you say a ring?
Well, with segmented turnings, you're creating a segmented ring.
Oh yeah.
And you're gluing all those layers of rings together.
But it's end grain to end grain, so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why you have to send it through the drum sander.
Oh, interesting.
It's funny. I'd have a lot of people say, "Well, I hope you aren't doing those stupid cutting boards." I remember everybody always everybody had to do the cutting board. I'm like, when you're new at woodworking, a cutting board's a big deal. I mean, there's so much to learn in that process. And granted, a cutting board might be one of the simpler projects, but you have to take the kids up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you got it.
You've got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
Well, parents love it, or you want to give them to somebody else, your aunts, grandmothers. Everybody likes a homemade project.
Yeah, exactly. And cutting boards are classic, and there's a lot of lessons in there.
Which one would you
Right next, no, go to the left two.
Yeah,
That
with
one.
the Supermax,
Nope, the Supermax.
1632.
Right one.
It's open ended.
Whoa.
Not that one.
Not that one.
No.
Oh.
The Supermax right to the right of the one you clicked on.
This one.
That's the one I have.
Supposed to be, that's it. Oh, do you?
Yeah. I have that one.
Honestly, I don't like open-ended sanders. I have a closed-end drum sander, and I know there have been too many problems with the open-ended sanders, but I don't have room for a bigger closed end one.
I had a Grizzly
Well,
originally, and then I switched to this, and I haven't had any sagging issues over the last 5 years.
oh, good. That's good to hear.
Oh, is that so that you could? Oh, is that so you could raise it up?
No, you can flip the board. So if you're doing a 32-inch wide cutting board or a panel door, send it through once, you spin it, and send it through again because you're out past your drum.
Right.
Oh,
Get double the width.
because it's. Oh, I see. Because of the
Yeah,
width.
because it's open ended. Right.
Got
Right.
it. Okay. I was trying to think of the advantage. I was like, why don't you just use
Yeah.
it? So it's not a planer because it's not a sander, and it's open, whereas a planer's got closed.
Yeah.
Okay, I got. Is that the two features to understand it?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
like my drum sander though is closed. It's got 4 posts, and you're restricted by it's closed on both sides.
Yeah.
Got it.
More like a planer.
Okay.
But then it doesn't flex because it's
here.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Whereas this, a little bit of stress, this will hold, but not. Yeah, you can't put that much on it, right?
Yeah. I think it's a quarter turn is a 64th of an inch, and that's too much of a pass to take sometimes.
Oh, yeah. And in general, you just can't take off as much as you can with a planer. It's a slower process.
Okay.
It's a sander, not a planer. That's always I tell the guys when we had the jet at the prison I taught at, and I mean it worked great. We used the hell out of it. Like I loved it, but we always had to remind the guys that it's a planer or it's not a planer. Go run it through a couple times, then go finish hand sanding. Like it just makes your job quicker and easier. It's
right. Yeah.
Level things out a little bit for you, but that's about it.
Got it.
Works great, man. Love it.
Yeah, get in touch with Tim. He does all these great turnings.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he does stuff like this, which takes a lot of planning, I think.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is, with segmented turnings, it slows them down. They do more of the work than me prepping, chainsawing up blanks for bowls, because I spend a lot of time doing that, and it's terrible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this goes back to the light the fire thing. It's not really supposed to be. It's just whatever the best way to get to, get the kids to do stuff.
Yeah.
If that means, and if you're doing it for them and stuff like that, it's no good.
Well, see, that's what's cool about the cutting boards too. Is it's fairly easy, quick turnaround, and I want to give them success, not get them too buried. As they progress, the projects become more complicated, but they're ready for it. Then you can't bury them in technically complicated things.
I start my kids on paper before I give them sheet metal. I'm not giving.
Right. Yeah.
I call it CAD, computer aided or cardboard aided design.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing about cutting boards too, it's a good way to suck up all that scrap.
Yes.
Like it's good practice. I mean, it's just at the prison we'd make the crap out of them for our sale, and we just go through the scrap bin and then people would go crazy, sell them for like $20.
Yeah.
And we were gonna throw it in the trash bin.
Well, in one of the first projects, one of the early projects I do as a skill builder is I have patterns for kitchen utensils, and kids can turn around a kitchen utensil. Usually the first one, it takes them 2 full periods, and then they can start doing, getting 2 done in like a period and a half, completely done. And then they end up selling them. They start selling kitchen utensils for like $5 to $10 a piece, and they get pretty excited about that.
Oh, Barbercheck has a classroom economy where the kids produce stuff.
That's awesome.
And you can buy, and then people from the outside can buy it online.
Cool.
I bought one. He shipped it to me. He sent me a like a clipboard. It's like a job site clipboard. It's like a sheet metal box, like a shallow
Yeah.
Single box. Yeah. Hey, let me ask you a question. What the woodworkers in the group here? What's the black part here? Like what kind of wood is
Probably
that?
walnut.
Oh,
That's an end grain cutting board, so it really you get a stronger contrast.
beautiful. Look at that.
But it's probably walnut.
Mm. And is it stained ahead of time, or how does it look like that?
That's the oil that they use to, mineral oil. I always use mineral oil.
Oh, and it just comes out
Yeah.
like that. 'Cause of
You
the,
wouldn't stain a cutting board.
No,
I'm
Oh,
going to try and
okay.
keep it as natural as possible, and then just an oil.
That's
It looks
cool.
like there's some cherry in there and some hard maple, some soft maple.
Wow, this is so cool. Yeah, I missed out on these classes. We didn't have it. I mean, part of the reason.
those are amazing cutting boards.
Yeah, he's good. This guy, Tim's in there. Oh, look, we got the river thing going on. Oh, I see. He's got a
Going
little
on
barrier.
back.
Yeah, he's got a little barrier going.
I get excited when I got like middle school kids going, Mr. Clippinger, have you ever done a river table? I want to do a river table.
Everybody
But
wants.
they're seeing stuff on YouTube. Their mom's asking them, "Can you build this in class?"
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least they're watching that on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I get excited about is that now they're starting to go, "Oh, I bet I could make this," and start getting hooked on it and seeing the potential of what they can do, and that this is the possibility. Oh, one of the things I do is one of the things I do, like if you go into a sports bar, the big TV's got sports playing, and there's no sound. You just see what's going on. And I will play woodworking videos like Ishitani Furniture or something like that, or Kobe Furniture, or
That's a good idea.
woodturning videos. And I'll put together playlists, and there's no sound. We start working. You got lines of kids at the bandsaw. Kids are over bandsawing and using the sander, shaping out the projects, and some kids are sitting at the table, and there's just woodworking going on. And kids will go, and I love it when they do this. Mr. Clippinger, we have one of those. We could do that. And they start putting together somebody using the table saw or the jointer, and you see, and then they're going, oh, we have that right there. And
That's a
can
good
we do
idea.
that too? And I'm like, it's just, I just want to steep them in the visual aspects, because I can only teach, I have to start them out small and teach them these simple things, but they're seeing the more progressive and complicated projects that are possible. And then now they're like recognizing the machines are a different brand, different color, but we have the thing that does that. Can I do that?
Wow, it's so funny. Like I feel the energy you got, man. You're totally into this. This is great. You're turning your shop into like a wood shop sports bar.
Right. Yeah.
It's a great idea.
So, it's something I'm like, it's just so genius. The simplest thing to just so they're visually getting all this information.
Yeah, I should put in my orders, I should get a big screen and put it on the wall and just loop like hot rod movies or hot rod customization TV shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
There's plenty of anything that we're teaching. There's plenty of videos, and you don't need any sound. You just, it's all visual.
That's a great idea. And it kind of spruces up the place because, shops, especially mine, it's a little bit drab because there's it's like army green. It's this color, like that mellow army green that's been around forever. Why was that so popular? I have no idea. They must have sold a ton of that.
Yeah, that's sort of a governmental color. And actually, there was a lady, one of the designers, she painted, had this apartment complex she designed in feng shui colors, and it was exactly that green. And she was talking about it's scientifically proven to be a calming color, and actually it's a color that they paint in prisons too.
God, that's why we got to get rid of it. I don't want them calm. I want them excited about building stuff.
I think blue is supposed to be the most conducive for learning, and so when we redid
really?
I think it's a blue hue is supposed to be really conducive. I don't know if it's the most, but even though our colors are purple and gold, when we redid the wood shop, I paint one of the walls is blue, like a kind of a lighter, brighter blue or whatever. And everyone's like, "Why are you painting blue? Our colors are purple and gold." I'm like, just because blue's better. And then see, whenever our school got remodeled, we have all this blue in the hallways and stuff. And I'm like, have you ever noticed how bright and calm and stuff the hallway is? I was like, there's a reason it's not purple. Like it's purposely blue on a so I kind of went with that blue, and the shop is so bright and it's nice. I mean, it's small, but it's nice to be in. And yeah, color trickery works, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, all right. Well, we'll probably wrap up the recording here. This has been a real good journey. Go ahead, Duke.
Or Damien's still here too. Remember Jaden from so we talked a couple of months ago I went to a battle bot competition, and it's geared more toward high school kids. So I did some research and I wanted to find out some battle bots on middle school kids, because my kids take their robots. We use Vex IQ robots, and they usually do like try to solve a real world problem. So taking like hazardous material from this area to this area. But they ended up.
Hey, Duke, let me just give some context. So a couple weeks back, Duke got us an interview with like a young entrepreneur that makes battle bots in Australia. And I think he shipped it over to you, Duke, right?
Yes. So
let me just pull up his website while you're talking about it, so we got some context on this. Hold on one second.
So
what's his name again?
Jaden. It's on Arcobots.
Arcobots. Okay, go ahead.
So I've been talking to him, and some of the rules it's tough shipping like batteries overseas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wanted to buy a couple on my own. He's like, "Look, I want you to write a review for me, and I'll send you two of my own." So they came in the mail.
Oh, no way.
Yep.
Let's see it.
These are straight from Australia.
That is cool. And you're the first one in the States to get them, right?
First one in the States to get them, right? So I got his business card. I got a stack of his business cards. So I'll hand them out to other teachers because I'm sure these are going to be pretty cool. Comes with the components. So there's like, your different motors and your chargers, your USB chargers. He does really good YouTube videos with like the circuit boards because there is some soldering involved. All right. So there's a 2-pack. You have this mini board. So here's where you're going to have to do a lot of the soldering.
Oh, look at that. He's got his logo on there.
His logo on there and everything. Yeah, kid's 17 years old. He's thinking of all this stuff.
It's unbelievable.
Yep. And we also, so he gave me some pamphlets as well. All right. And then maybe a week before that or 2 weeks before that, we had a 3D printer on there. Mantis printing.
That was good. Yeah, Mantis was cool.
Right? So that's what the bot is made out of.
There we go.
Wow.
So these are your base models, but the intent is for kids to design their own 3D printed part.
And did Mantis printers print that for you?
Oh, no, this came in. He printed them. These are his.
Nice.
These are his. He did a design using Tinkercad. So I got 2 of them. And from Australia.
Aha! The koala.
The koala bear.
Nice.
So I think that's pretty awesome of them to ship that stuff. So I'm excited to get started. I do have to build them, 2 of them. I did have to get the remotes from Amazon and the batteries from Amazon just because it was easier for me to buy them than him to ship them overseas. But I thought that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
That's awesome.
What a great follow-up story. So yeah, we had it was back-to-back weeks where we had Duke kind of found us 2 guests. It was amazing. So we had Jaden from Arco Bots, and then we had what was the guy's name from Mantis?
Joe.
Joe is like a young entrepreneur. He's in his 20s probably, and so it's two young entrepreneurs, both in similar areas, and this was cool. So now, all the components are in that thing, but the design of the body of the housing, that's up to your students, right?
That's up to the students. Yep. He gives you like a basic tutorial on how to build. Like some parts have to go like in these slots here, but that's it. Like the shape of the battle bot is up to you. Like he was calling this like a ramp or something. They have different names for these in the battle bot world, but you can change the shape of your machine any way you want. And then still, you know, you could, they're probably a little bit expensive for the kids to take everything home with the components. This seems to be the reusable part, but they can definitely take home the 3D printed part, you know, and then give them a link to buy the components and the remotes on their own.
That is awesome. You know, it's funny. I need to talk to Jaden because I have a similar project idea to teach electric cars, and you know, but so it would leave the design, the body design, up to the students, but you just give them the components, and then the key factor is the efficiency, like how many milliamp hours it uses to cross, like let's say I don't know, you know, a scaled down quarter mile or something like that, you know, like, so it's kind of like the evolution of the CO2 dragster. So it's pretty amazing the guests we have on, because I want to learn from a 17-year-old how to get into business.
Yeah.
Not so much for the business part, but just like, how do you serve your school customers really well? Like, how do you do a good job with that, you know? And he must know a lot about reducing parts and making it a good experience, because obviously, because it attracted you to. How did you find them originally?
Just on the web. Like I was looking for Kirk from Bloomsburg. He builds like 15-pound battle bots with his kids. And I'm thinking, my middle school, that's 15 pounds. I'm like, I gotta find a smaller one. He's like, well, I'm gonna run a competition with 3-pound robots. So I knew that they were out there. I just wanted to find them. And I found them and contacted him, and you know, watched a couple of YouTube videos about his entrepreneurship, and then him building them. I'm like, I got to talk to this. And then he came on the show with like one email, and then for him it's the morning.
Oh yeah,
it's 8 o'clock at night.
Oh, and was it because of COVID he was able to jump on? Is that why?
I don't know why he jumped on. Oh, it's close to the maybe end of school. I'm not sure what the school's like.
I thought they were like on their break, or they had like a holiday or a break between.
Yeah, there he is.
I don't know.
The wild thing is, this is him at 15 or 16?
Yeah,
but like, that's the kid, which is like, it's just unbelievable what he's done. There he is giving a presentation. Like it's legit. Like this is actually him. It's unbelievable. And we've got a good interview with him.
Yep.
Let's see. Let me try and find it on. Just give you a quick preview, and then.
Remember, I was like, your school district should be all over this. He's like, the kids want to build CO2 cars instead.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's funny. Oh man. Well, yeah, we have the interview on this channel, so you just, if someone's watching this, just go through the video. All right, that's cool. Thanks for the update, Duke.
It's arcobots.com. Yep.
That is awesome.
So I'm going to try to find somehow how to incorporate these in my curriculum in the future.
That is cool. All right. And maybe does it have to be 3D printed? What if it was made out of wood or
I was
sheet metal?
thinking, wood or metal, wood or sheet metal. I was thinking too. Yep.
Or cardboard, you know? Yeah, you never know. That's cool.
To call them up.
I wonder if, you know.
Does your school have a laser?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Cut them out of laser or little bits thin plywood or something like that.
Because I was thinking, I call it a shopping spree, but I come to realize you're really just requesting things.
Yeah, yeah,
And then you get denied or, okay. But anyways, I requested a Thunder laser, and I realized we could do a lot of things with just thin stock, with cardboard or 1/8, 1/4 inch ply, because we'll be able to cut up to 1/2 inch material.
Wow, that's pretty thick.
Cardboard, I mean, there's a lot of, because the kids could design to accommodate the cardboard and then cut the parts out and then they join together.
I harvested 2 years worth of Chromebook boxes for the cardboard just on the laser.
wow.
I had kids draw, the rectangle. We put the whole box in, cut the one face out, flip it over, cut out the other. You have 2 sheets of cardboard.
Well, wasn't it you that suggested the Thunder laser?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I requested a Thunder laser. I don't know if I'll get it or not. I still don't know.
Nice. And does it go by watts? Like, how do you know what's a Thunder laser?
That's the brand.
Thunder's just a brand, but it's I upgraded to like the 100-watt laser.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a lot. I think, right? Yeah.
150 is the next size up.
Okay, just a random question. I've been using Send Cut Send, which is amazing, to cut out my pattern for my for the product I'm working on. But what I want to do is engrave the directions on there. Send Cut Send doesn't do any engravings. Do you know any metal engraving and laser cutting options?
You could buy a fiber laser.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. And that would do it, right? Would that cut? But that wouldn't cut the through. It would just be for engraving.
Yeah.
Okay. And how many watts do you need?
I've seen for fibers, I've only seen like 35, 40, is the entry level. Because you don't need a lot for the fiber to etch into the metal.
Oh.
Yeah, if you've only got was it CO2 laser or whatever, they will engrave on metal if you paint some sort of material onto the thing first, so it kind of reacts to the metal, but it doesn't sort of engrave as deeply as a fiber one does.
The coating on, basically.
Yeah.
That's going to be an extra step for you.
Okay. All right. Now, what is the different fiber versus CO2? What is the difference? I don't know.
I don't. Yeah.
What?
Cost. I don't know what fiber is actually, using to power the whole ordeal, but the CO2 is, using CO2 gas and creating that laser beam.
Okay, interesting. And do you have to provide a tank?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's like an old enclosed
neon tube,
TB tube, except CO2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
For the laser.
Right. I gotta learn. I have no idea. That's cool.
I know over at the high school, the CO2 tube burn out, and it's a full spectrum. They got to get it replaced.
Oh wow!
I mean, the send have anodized. I'm assuming you're just using carbon steel, so.
Yeah, they don't have anything.
Yeah, so that would be your only option as far as using a CO2 going from Send Cut Send to engraving. You have to have some type of finish already on it.
Oh.
So if they could, provide you with that, then they're providing you one less step of work for your end, where then you could just throw the cut piece into the CO2 and then engrave it and remove that anodization or paint.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Well, I'm gonna stop the recording here. Everybody usually hangs out for a minute or two afterwards. Let me see. All right. Thanks for that, Todd. That was awesome. And you're moving forward. It's really cool. This was a lot of resources got shared here. This was pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Thanks for watching the Shop Class Podcast. And if you want to be a guest, just get in contact. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Stop recording. All right. Do.